The idea for RAM, of course, was Wayne Wood's, and the idea had been developing for some time while the infrastructure of the bridge was being built, and Wayne successfully convinced various administrations and government agencies that it was a sound idea. RAP was the organization that had the capability, from having run the arts festivals in the community for many years and having a strong volunteer base, to successfully manage this event. But after months of work on it, there was no one particularly wanted the job as chair, because it was going to be a major job. And I was asked if I would take the task as chair, and I agreed to do so, but I wanted to examine it first. And if you recall, I was not originally convinced that the idea would work, and I had to explore it more deeply and find that I felt it was a good workable plan. And then fortunately I was able to pursue that plan on a full-time basis for about 6 months, because I was retired and had the time to do that. And so with some really strong, committed people like Wayne Wood and Pamela Tellis and Cindy Guy and Teresa Fish, we all agreed we'd work seriously and put in minimum hours of at least 10 hours per person per week, and meet at least once a week till we got this project up and running. And that's how the plan started, and we were constantly encouraged and reinvigorated by people in the community who loved the idea and were willing to give of their time and effort, whether it be a designer like Mike Barnhart, who won the contest for the design of the logo, Chris Wojda, who helped us create the proper name for the market, and people in the marketing community with various local ad agencies that gave time for design work and so forth. It was just very heartening to find that kind of public support for the market. And so it was a very broad effort, not just those of us who were on the committee, but artists and designers and people of all walks of life that helped us. RAMROD was an acronym that I created to try and generate some interest in the project. It stands for Riverside Arts Market Research, Operations, and Development Committee, or RAMROD, which seemed like a cool name to apply to the committee. And that was a group of us who originally formed and did most of the work on the project, but that was how it came about. Felt we needed to have a full year of operation on the market. In other words, we didn't want to open the market in the fall and have it only open for a couple of months. We wanted, in order to get sponsorships and other support, we felt we needed to have the market operate from the spring all the way until the winter. And so the pressure was on, because we wanted to open the market in March or April, and we're still waiting on permits, on agreements, on finishing electrical installation at the market, finding entertainers, getting the market laid out, getting the market marked for the vendors, and setting policies. I mean, we spent literally hundreds and hundreds of hours establishing the market policies for artists and food vendors and the like. We had to study and learn about the laws for food vendors and for farmers, and business permits and other things. That it was all of this was new to us, and the day kept marching closer and closer. We had to employ staff. We had to put together a volunteer team that would handle so many different aspects of this. We had to determine from the city the sort of police requirements we'd have, and the list goes on and on. So the day approaches, and we hired the director for the market, I think 3 weeks before the market opened. But then opening day occurred, and our wildest dreams were exceeded by the market. I mean, the outpouring of people in support and interest was wildly beyond anything we had imagined. I mean, we had proposed the market would function and break even with 3,000 people per Saturday visiting the market. But in fact, not only did we have something like 40,000 on the first day, but we've averaged 15,000 a day for the market since that time, and more so far this year. The idea for the market, of course, came from Dr. Wayne Wood, who was in Portland, Oregon on a business meeting and saw the Portland Saturday market, which is a market that was organized many years ago, I think perhaps 30 years ago, and it's set up under the Riverside Bridge in Portland. And he was very impressed with what he saw there and thought the idea was a great one. When he returned to Jacksonville, he had a patient who was an engineer with FDOT, and he discussed the idea with his patient, and he thought it had merit. And then the plans for the new Fuller Warren Bridge on 1995 were announced, and Wayne realized that the opportunity was there. So he began pursuing that with various public officials, Department of Transportation and so forth, and surprise of all things, they agreed that it was a meritorious, an idea with merit, and they would like to pursue it. And so we got support early on the idea, but then it took many years for the new bridge to be completed. Then the plan was delayed because the contractor was sued by the state because he was dumping debris in the river, and the lawsuit took a number of years to conclude. In the meantime, construction under the bridge was halted, so a total of 16 years passed before the actual site began to be developed properly. Melody Bishop, a fine local architect, was engaged by the city to design the Riverwalk, and was asked to incorporate that plan and to do the design for the market site. So by using funding that was already in place for the Riverwalk, combined with money from Fidelity National Financial, which needed additional parking next to their facilities, and DOT funding, which they had for some landscaping and so forth, the project came together with a covered, paved, historically lighted, landscaped facility with public restrooms, and it was attractively done with pavers and what have you. A permanent entertainment pavilion was incorporated into design, which has terrace seating for 400 or so people, and a permanent performance stage on the riverfront. Of course, the Riverwalk connected to the site, so we ended up with a site something larger than a football field that's mostly covered by the bridge overhead, that's landscape lighted with restrooms and a beautiful performance site and a view of the downtown skyline on the riverfront. We were further blessed by the favorable location of the site because it's surrounded mostly by corporate offices that are not very active on the weekends, so that we were able to secure parking from all the major corporate offices near us, giving us more than 1,000 free parking spaces within a couple block walk. So we had river access, Riverwalk access, lots of free parking, public restrooms, a beautiful site. So everything just came together. It was just magic that all these things would have came together so well.
Bring on the wonder, bring on the song. I pushed you down deep in my soul for too long. I fell through the cracks at the end of our street. Let's go to the beach, get the sand through our feet. too long.